Hey guys and gals, sorry for being a bit late on this one, but you can catch all the breaking news as well as all my opinions in my Instagram. The link is in the description. So after a few months of speculation, it is official. Tyrone Peachey and Charlie Staines have both swapped clubs for 2023. Charlie Staines is off to the West Tigers on a one-year deal, and Tyrone Peachey will return to the Penrith Panthers on a one-year deal. Of course, like anything, there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. Depending, maybe they both could be good, but either way, one team and one player is certainly going to benefit from this deal more than the other, and we're going to dissect that in this video. But guys and gals, before we get any more into the video, please smash that like button if you enjoy it, comment your thoughts down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It is completely free and you can always unsubscribe later, so just smash that button right now. But let's get straight back into the video. So let's get straight into it. We're going to be talking the pros and cons of both these players for the respective clubs, and we're going to be focusing on the club aspect. So not so much for Staines and Peachy as individuals. We're going to be talking about the Tigers and the Penrith Panthers, but we will start off talking about Charlie Staines. He's moving on from the premiership winning, the back-to-back premiers, probably the most dominant dynasty we've seen in the NRL for quite some time. He is going to the wooden spoon, so it's a completely different end of the spectrum for them. For the Tigers, they're going to be getting one of the more exciting prospects in the game. Charlie Staines, in his 38 appearances, has already scored 23 tries, and in the 2022 season alone, in just his 15 appearances, he was pretty good. You know, he averaged 134 running meters, he was solid in defense, and his speed was definitely the best part. Let's not forget, the Panthers moved on Josh Mansell, one of the club legends for this kid, but unfortunately just a few injuries gave his opportunity away. He is still one of the more exciting prospects in the game. Like I said, he is only 22 years of age, and he has proven that even against Micah Sevo in a grand final, yes, he had the best support system inside him, but he can match it with any winger in the competition. You look back at his opening games against the Sharks and the Sea Eagles, when he was on the field, he ran riot. In the early stages of 2021, remember that clip of him outrunning the Fox? He was able to match Josh Adokar on that side, and that was a pivotal matchup in the Penrith Panthers winning a premiership. And this year as well, he looked shaky against the Bunnies early, but Rabbitohs and Eels, he stood up big time. And let's not play around it. He's going to be a guaranteed starter for the Tigers. Where in the back five, I don't know. Obviously, he is a fullback. That's what he came up playing the Rakes. He's a prolific try scorer. He's got speed that only a few players in the league have, which is going to be a great X factor for the Tigers. And let's face it, he just won a premiership. He has proven himself in big games. It's obvious Ivan Cleary wasn't too much of a fan of him, and it's obviously now even more apparent because he has been swapped for Tyrone Peachey. But the Tigers, it's what they've been lacking. A premiership winner and a guy with big game experience. They're getting that in Api Papali'i, and while he is only a young winger, you know, he's already had more finals experience than some of their mainstays. Some of the more important players like Adam Dewaihi, Luke Brooks, and Jackson Hastings. So, look, I know Tigers fans don't want to hear it, but you're going to be getting a winner. And look, if Charlie Staines is the best winner you can get outside of those Api Coruscant Papali'i, you're probably in some trouble. But at least they're trying to fix the issue. Look, the cons, this could play a big factor into Daine Laurie's next contract. He's off November 1 as well, and so will Staines, because it is only a one-year deal. Staines, he's been adamant. He is a fullback. He wants that fullback jersey, and it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to come down to these two. I reckon that there's a good chance Staines could be playing fullback in 2023, and whoever can get the start there may just become the Tigers fullback long-term, because Daine Laurie has been been there for a few years, he might be wanting to look elsewhere because he was fantastic in that Prime Minister 13's game. The Tigers probably need a meter eater. Charlie Staines is not that guy. He's more of a flash winger. If they can get Nofaluma back, that sort of steadies out the side. And even if he's at fullback, he did average over 100 running meters, but that's in a Penrith Panthers system where they're always on the front foot. He has a lot of space to run. He's not a guy who can get you a quick play the ball when you've been bunched for a few tackles. And he also has an injury history. That's what forced him out of the Panthers, I believe. You know, he was the long-term winger replacement. He was even looking to take Dylan Edwards' place at fullback at one stage, but just a few injuries have hindered that. The biggest thing that's going to come down to Staines, I think, is going to be the one-year deal. He can either really sign elsewhere from November 1 because he doesn't want to be the Tigers long-term, or, best case scenario, and I do like Dane Laurie, but Charlie Staines could end up being the Tigers' long-term fullback. Yes, he needs to develop more of a passing game. He's not the biggest guy, but damn, he's quick, and he's quicker than Dane Laurie. But let's get on to Tyrone Peachey. He returns to the Penrith Panthers after a few, let's face it, disappointing years, earning big money at the Gold Coast Titans and the West Tigers. Him being one of 7 captains didn't last long, but we'll look at the pros first. His utility value, it's up there with Connor Watson. He can play centers, he can fill in at fullback if you need him to. He can play either at 5'8" and at halfback, and he can play in the middle as a hooker or a lock. He's one of these players who is destined to wear jersey 14. So it's going to be very handy for a team like the Panthers, especially when you think that guys like Lua, Cleary, they won't have Appy there anymore, but guys like Isaiah Yeo and even Dylan Edwards could potentially be gone during the Origin period. They didn't grow up together. Maybe they did. But he was there when guys like Cleary, Yeo, Fisher Harris, they all started their careers. Peachy was the guy they looked up to. Obviously, those roles are going to reverse now and Peachy goes back. I don't think he's going to be bossing around Nathan Cleary telling him what to do. But Ivan Cleary, he's made a habit since coming back to the Panthers to get the best out of these more experienced guys. Look at Isaiah Yeo, was a centre bench player when Ivan first got there. He's turned him into one of the best forwards in the competition. Same with Fisher Harris, he's probably a top 3 front rower at least, if not the best in the competition. And even look at 2021 and 2020 with guys like Kurt Capewell and Zane Tedavano. He turned those two into 2 of the best players in their respective positions. And another pro for the Panthers, similar to Staines, but I think this is more of a pro for the Panthers, is the fact it's only a 1-year deal. Penrith have a lot of young guns coming through, and I don't think they're going to want Peachy to stick around for too long, especially guys like Sony Luke, who can play halfback, Salmon, Falls. I know Falls is a bit earlier, but all these guys they really want to be taking these positions, especially during Origin time. So the fact Peachy's only there on a 1-year deal, that should help him with that. In saying that though, could this hurt the development of young players? Because personally, I would have liked to see Penrith aim for a replacement for Sean O'Sullivan, not so much another 5'8", because they're going to have Salmon and they're going to have Falls. I think both of those guys may be off contract, but you think at least Salmon's going to get re-signed. So they're going to have 3 5'8s fighting over the positions. I know Peachy probably won't get there. I hope he's not filling that 14 role. That's what I'll say. I think Mitch Kinney has to be there, and then Sony Luke's the 14. Another young gun. I know he's older, but more in his NRL career. Sony Luke is very, very young. Unfortunately, the biggest con I have about Peachy is that he has proven he was still good enough to get selected on the bench. I think he has to learn his role, Peachy. I think he has to learn that he's in a very privileged position where he's going back to a team that, let's face it, has built a dynasty without him, and he's going to have to learn his role. Because I think that even during Origin period, he should still be struggling to make this team, because their young guns, the guys who came in, played against the Cowboys, they could be good enough to win during the Origin period without him. And I don't think you want to give Peachy those positions, because you want to give these young guns some NRL experience. Because let's face it, the Panthers, they're going to be losing not only a lot of these young guns, but the ones they do want to keep, they're going to have to force on their NRL squad. And I hope Peachy, because he's going to be a placeholder for a year, and I'm worried. My biggest 2 worries with Peachy is the fact he could hurt some development, and the fact that he has been a liability. The Titans didn't want him. Like, let's face it, the Titans and the Tigers, both teams who have been in the bottom 4 for better part of the last decade. Both wanted him moving on, and he's going to the best team in the competition. I think Ivan can get the best out of him, and that's going to play a pivotal role into who wins, because I think what's going to come down to who wins this is in a year's time, when both these guys are off contract, because Peachy could be very, very good. He could provide very good depth for the Tigers during that origin period, and if Cleary or someone goes down. Charlie Staines, though, the best he can be is the Tigers' long-term fullback. So, for that reason, and that reason alone, I'm going to have to lean towards Charlie Staines. That one-year deal is the biggest X factor, but Staines has proven himself at the NRL and in any other team but the Penrith Panthers, he'd be a star future winger. If he was at the Storm, he'd be on the wing. Maybe not the Roosters. I mean, they got two probably origin players on their wings. But outside of those two teams, Rabbitohs, he gets a spot. Sharkies, he's probably getting a spot. So, it's just an unfortunate position Staines has found himself in, because unfortunately only 2 years ago he was looking at being a star winger with potential going to fullback at the best team with the best future in the competition. Now he's at the Wooden Spoon Tigers, who I think will improve. It's going to be hard for them to stay and go below the Dolphins when they got Abby Coruscant, Isaiah Papali'i, and now Charlie Staines coming in. So look, I could be completely wrong. They're two players who are going to offer very different things. Peachy's just sort of a placeholder to make sure Penrith can go well. He's going to be there just for depth. I don't even know if he can get an NRL game next year, to be perfectly honest. While Staines, he's guaranteed a back five position at the very least. He could become the long-term fullback or at least a long-term winger. And let's face it, if the Melbourne Storm come knocking with their lack of depth in the wingers, especially if Nofaluma returns to Tigers, maybe Staines is someone they chase after, and this video could age poorly because Staines and Peachy could be signed for 2024 somewhere else. But guys, who do you think is going to win this swap? Let me know in that comment section below. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're knee deep in the Rugby League World Cup, and you don't want to miss any coverage we have here on the channel. I'm dying. I got assignments. It's my last week of uni, and I'm trying to rush a video out. I'm going to have a panic attack in a few hours. Guys, smash that like button. Leave your comments down below. Am I right or am I an idiot? And subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.